Imagine owning a business where customers can come back again and again. Your service can be heavily automated, and a large part of your revenue can arrive every month without customers having to make a new purchase every time. That business is a car wash. At first glance, a car wash looks incredibly simple. A customer drives in, pays, gets the car cleaned, and drives away. But behind that 5-minute experience is a surprisingly sophisticated business model involving real estate, water, electricity, chemicals, equipment, labor, memberships, and customer retention. And here's the interesting part. Depending on the business model and location, a car wash can require anywhere from hundreds of thousands of dollars to several million dollars to build. So how does a car wash actually make money? And more importantly, if you wanted to own one yourself, would it really be worth the investment? Let's start with the biggest misconception. A car wash is not really a business about soap and water. It's a business about location, volume, and recurring customers. Think about your own behavior. If you live in an area where your car gets dirty constantly, you might visit a car wash several times a month. Now imagine turning that customer into a monthly member. Instead of convincing that person to spend $20 every time they visit, you might offer an unlimited plan for around $25 or $30 a month. The customer gets convenience, and the business gets something even more valuable: predictable recurring revenue. This subscription model has become one of the most important parts of the modern US car wash industry. The International Car Wash Association reported in 2026 that nearly 9 out of 10 existing unlimited wash members plan to renew their subscriptions, while nearly 2/3 of retailers reported that membership sales were increasing. That's a huge lesson for almost any business. People don't always want to repeatedly decide whether to buy something. If the service is convenient and the price feels reasonable, they often prefer to subscribe and forget about it. Now let's look at what it actually takes to build a car wash. There isn't just one type of car wash. You could operate a self-service facility where customers wash their own vehicles. You could build an automatic in-bay wash where the machine does most of the work. Or you could build an express tunnel where cars enter one end, move through a conveyor system, get washed automatically, and exit a few minutes later. And the difference in investment can be enormous. A relatively small self-service operation might require a few $100,000 once you include equipment, construction, utilities, permits, and the site. But a modern express tunnel can easily move into the millions. Some industry estimates put a new express tunnel project at several $1,000,000 before you even start thinking about financing costs and unexpected construction expenses. That's why the first business decision isn't actually about choosing the best soap, it's choosing the right business model. Let's say you decide to build a smaller self-service car wash. Your money could go toward land or a long-term lease, site preparation, plumbing, drainage, electrical work, wash bays, pumps, payment systems, vacuums, signage, permits, insurance, and working capital. And there is one expense that people often underestimate: the land. A car wash needs more than just a building. It needs visibility. It needs easy access. It needs enough room for vehicles to enter and leave. And ideally, it needs a steady stream of drivers passing by every day. Because a beautiful car wash in a terrible location can lose money, while a simple car wash in the right location can become extremely valuable. Imagine two businesses. Business A spends $500,000 building a beautiful facility on a quiet road. Business B spends a similar amount, but gets a location beside a busy commuter route with easy entry and exit. Business B has an enormous advantage before either business washes a single car. That's why location is one of the most important assets in the entire business. Now let's talk about revenue. Suppose a hypothetical express wash serves an average of 250 cars per day. If the average customer spends $12, that's $3,000 in daily sales. Multiply that by 30 days, and you're looking at roughly $90,000 in monthly gross sales. But don't make the mistake of calling that profit. Gross revenue is simply the money coming in. The business still has to pay for everything that keeps the operation running: water, sewer, electricity, chemicals, equipment maintenance, insurance, payroll, credit card processing, marketing, rent or debt payments, property taxes, software, and unexpected repairs. And repairs are especially important because a car wash is basically an industrial machine that has to work every day. If your main equipment breaks on a busy Saturday, you're not just paying for a repair. You're also losing the revenue you could have earned while the business was closed. This is why preventive maintenance can be much more valuable than simply fixing equipment after it fails. Now here's where the economics get interesting. A customer paying once gives you one transaction. A member paying every month gives you a relationship. Imagine you build a membership base of 2,000 customers paying an average of $30 per month. That's $60,000 in recurring monthly membership revenue. That's $720,000 over a year before considering additional retail sales. Of course, real businesses don't operate with perfect retention, perfect pricing, or zero discounts. Members cancel, cards fail, customers move, competition increases, and some customers will use the service much more than others. But the principle is powerful. Recurring revenue makes a business more predictable, and predictability is extremely valuable. This is also why a smart car wash owner doesn't only ask, "How many cars did we wash today?" They ask much better questions. How many new members joined? How many cancelled? What's the average revenue per customer? How much does it cost to acquire a new customer? How often do members actually wash? How long do they stay subscribed? And how much revenue does each customer generate over their entire relationship with the business? That's the difference between operating a car wash and actually understanding the economics of one. But there is another major factor: pricing. You might think the cheapest car wash will automatically attract the most customers. Not necessarily. Imagine one business charges $8. Another charges $12. The $12 business might actually make more money if customers believe they're getting better service, faster service, better equipment, better drying, cleaner facilities, or better membership options. This is a fundamental business lesson. You don't always need the lowest price. You need a strong value proposition. If customers believe they're getting more value than they're paying for, you have pricing power. And the International Car Wash Association's 2026 consumer research suggests that many customers are willing to accept price increases when the perceived value and quality remain strong. But there is a danger: competition. Car washes are not automatically profitable just because people own cars. If too many competitors open in the same area, every business starts fighting for the same customers. And when that happens, discounting can destroy margins. That's why an experienced owner looks at the market before spending millions of dollars. How many cars pass the site? How many competitors are nearby? What are their prices? How many members do they appear to have? Are they offering unlimited plans? How easy is it to enter and exit the property? Is there enough room for a line of cars during peak hours? And most importantly, is there enough demand to support another location? The best business opportunity isn't always the business with the biggest market. Sometimes it's the business with the best gap in a specific market. And that's probably the biggest lesson from the economics of owning a car wash. You don't make money simply because you own a machine that cleans cars. You make money by controlling a valuable location, processing a high volume of customers efficiently, keeping operating costs under control, and turning occasional customers into long-term members. The machine is only part of the business. The real asset is the system. And if you were thinking about starting one yourself, I wouldn't begin by buying equipment. I'd begin with a spreadsheet. Estimate the number of cars you could realistically serve every day. Estimate the average amount each customer would spend. Calculate your monthly revenue. Then subtract every major expense. Then stress test the business. What happens if traffic is 20% lower than expected? What happens if construction costs rise? What happens if equipment goes down for a week? What happens if a new competitor opens across the street? What happens if membership growth is slower than expected? If the numbers still work under conservative assumptions,